Hello, Adam from GodIsAGeek.com here to talk to you about Astral Chain. Now, I've been playing it and I can talk about some elements of it. In fact, I can talk about quite a bit of the early game. But what you're seeing is just some snippets of what I've played so far, which is why you might see a little bit of really bad gameplay because I was learning it. This game is, well, so far I feel like you're either with me on this or you're against, but I feel like Platinum Games have kind of an A and a B team, and I don't mean the B team as in, oh, they're rubbish, but I mean they have a team that's set aside to be just outrageously good. And although, I know there's a lot more than just Platinum Games developed Nier Automata, I'm going to group Nier in as one of the very best Platinum has to offer. And that's a strange thing to say, perhaps, because admittedly, it's not Platinum behind the scenario. That's something I love, by the way, in Platinum Games, scenario written by. But Nier Automata was, I guess a hit for them and everyone involved. This is the game that no one knew existed. This is the game that people thought we were going to see more of Bayonetta 3, and then this game come up. And after the initial few hours, I suppose, I'm talking about now, I've kind of forgotten about Bayonetta 3, which is a remarkable thing to say, because this is, again, you've got to go with me on this. This is the A-team so far. Like, this is... I'm old enough that I've played a lot of video games, and this is kind of one of my favourite genres, and I've played a lot of these games that are mad when they start. Like, they are just crazy openings to video games. Nier, again, does that. Bayonetta's pretty good at showing you this is what this game is, get with the program or you're not going to enjoy it. Astral Chain does that, and it's up there. And I'm talking, this is opinion coming in very hot, but this is up there as one of those, wow, what an introduction to a video game things. It straight away shows you it's not just this. It's not just what you thought it was from the trailers. There's more to this game. You thought it was this, actually it's this, and this, and this. And then it does this thing of it calms down a little bit and lets you understand. Like the intro, I think you'd be hard pushed to die on. It's supposed to show you how mad it can be and give you a glimpse, I suppose, of what could be to come. As I say, then it calms down a little bit and you're left with this. Again, it's still kind of introducing you to the idea that initially this game seems as though it's a... I don't want to say traditional, because when you say traditional, talking about Platinum Games, it sounds like that's not. It's not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't say a traditional Platinum Games game, but it does come across as, oh, is this going to be, a Bayonetta style, a Devil May Cry? I know they didn't develop it, but that style of game, which is a narrative-based action, not hack and slash because there's combos or whatever, but that kind of game, and it does seem like it will be. But there are side quests and stuff in this game as well. It's obviously got insane amounts of style. You'd expect no less. I can't show you... And do you know what? I actually don't want to show you everything I've seen, because I wanted to show some of the intro, and there will be bits you've seen, but you won't know they're the intro. And I've done that deliberately. I've deliberately put things out of sequence because I don't want to spoil this game for you. And I'm not going to spend ages talking to you now. I am going to just, quick plug, GodIsAGeek.com will have a video review, we'll have a written review near a release. This game is shaping up very nicely. Very nicely indeed. It controls well, as you would expect. As I said, I've already said I think it's an A-team version of a Platinum Games game. There are some things I didn't expect. There are, for example, you do have sort of direct control over your Legion, which is the thing... I guess the closest thing I can describe it to is if you've played Devil May Cry 5, there's a character in that game where you don't kind of directly fight. Whereas Nero and Dante, you get in... I'm actually spacing on the name of the third character, which is terrible, because that game is out this year and terrific. But that character sort of stands back and controls these kind of, astral characters. And in this case, they're called legions. You can directly control them by holding the left trigger. And one of the things it teaches you in the tutorial, and one of the moments where I was straight away like, oh wow, this is something, this could be something, I should say, because it's not me being in a preview sense, I haven't finished it. But you hold the left trigger and you can use the right stick to directly control where your Legion goes. And what you can do with that is if you then put them to the far right of the screen and you're the left, if an enemy attacks you, you can make it so they hit your actual chain, the actual Astral Chain, and it flings them back away from you. And this is taught to you in a tutorial early on, and it makes me think there's a lot more to come from this game in that respect. I mean, we know from the trailers there are legions and stuff, but having played it and knowing how well it controls, this is, again, it's one of those kind of Bayonetta, it's one of those Devil May Cry things where there are people very good at this genre that are going to be incredible. I was pleased to see difficulty settings that, again, they did this with Bayonetta 2 on Switch, where it's very accessible, and if you just, like, I think when it was on Wii U, actually, you could just play the game with a touch screen, which was incredible, and this, again, feels accessible in that there are quite a lot of difficulty settings that you can just enjoy the story, but there's also, it seems like, the challenges if you want them. I was surprised to see that you can switch between gun and kind of, I suppose it's like a stun baton, but essentially, because the enemies are, they're either on the ground or they can be in the air, you can send your legion out to attack the ones in the air, and you can then get up close and personal, but it's also got the kind of bullet dodge thing of, you dodge out the way at the last second and you'll get a slowed down period. Again, very Bayonetta. But whereas I likened it to DMC, this game you do actually engage with the enemy as well. You don't have to. You can stand back and let your legion do all the damage, but if you do that, they're on a meter. If you exhaust that, you have to wait for it to slowly build up. So while you can send them out and pull them back with left trigger, actual R button, the R trigger, R bumper, actually puts the legion away, sort of thing. So you can then let that meter build up quicker. I don't want to ramble too long about this game. Like, the voice acting is what you'd expect so far. I wasn't expecting side quests and like the whole investigation style. You are police officers and setting out on investigations. There's a whole kind of Batman thing where you can find people and like see, oh, they're a side quest, I'll go and do them. I'll show you one of them. There's also, again, very early impressions, there kind of seems to be some very weird stuff. Like, I'm not going to show you this, but I accidentally happened upon, I think, a kind of long-term side quest that's really bizarre, but also made me smile, because it's like, okay, so this is sort of po-faced while also very anime, but it also maintains that kind of platinum. It feels like Bayonetta, but with, and I'm scared of saying this so far, a little bit of Nier Automata thrown in, because there's a little bit more here than the kind of Chapter 1, you've done this mission. There are sections here you can roam around and talk to people, like Nier. I'm going to stop talking now, because I'm going to go and play more of this game. I know it's big game season, I know there's loads of games coming, but I wanted to get this out to you. We are on a bit of a timescale thing, so I apologise this isn't quite as formulated as a normal preview would be, but I just wanted to talk to you about the game, show you some footage, show you some sort of clear footage captured from the docked Switch. You can see it runs well, by the way, just for the record. Haven't actually even had a chance to play it in handheld. That sort of stuff will be in the review. Just to let you know, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell button. We also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/GodIsAGeek. There'll be a little card at the end of the video if you're interested, if you want to see more. We give away games on there, we talk to our patrons, we give early access to stuff when we can. I'm going to stop talking now, I said it twice. You're going to all tear me apart in the comments for this being rambly, but I just wanted to show you some gameplay and get this out there for you to see. Come back to godisageek.com, come back to our channel, and you will see the review of this game soonish. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.